Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends. And if you like that in German, guten Tag, my friends. It is, of course, Sunday afternoon. It is 1:36. A little bit late. Do apologise. A little bit on the slow side. Mother's Day. I'm sure you can appreciate. We are enjoying the day, but I thought we'd stop to celebrate another record-breaking afternoon at Portman Road. Another win for the Super Blues, keeping that big momentum on our side. Here is your league table before we start today's show. For those that perhaps haven't seen it yet, Town still sitting third, 2 points behind Plymouth, 3 behind Wednesday, who have a game in hand. But I did spend some time with a Wednesday fan last night who told me, get through the next 2 with 6 points and you'll win the league. Is he correct? I'd love to know your thoughts this afternoon. Peterborough, team to watch, maybe a bit on the form uptake, 4 points outside the playoffs now, 1 behind. But there is your league table to kick off Talking Town this afternoon. For those that are listening on audio platforms, apologies you can't see it, but I can't do anything about that. But thank you for choosing Talking Town to come into your ears. I've got a load of comments coming in. Love to see it. It's, of course, the flagship podcast, the chance for you all to have your say. Live link about halfway through the show. So do keep your eyes peeled for that in the live chat. But you can get involved before the link even drops. Just put your comment in your own words, unfilled, into the chat, and we'll try and get through as many as we can. I know Rich will have the 3-word review that he put on Twitter. I'll tell you mine now. Hosepipe ban, please. Don't get me started. I've written down pitch today. I wonder if I actually will get onto it. I'm not a happy bunny. But what may make you happy is, of course, yesterday's post-game show. Town fans happy, celebrating a Town win. Always good to see. We also had an Ipswich Town royalty come on to the show. Ray Crawford, Colin Plum. Watch that little bit of a segment, that little bit of an interview, an impromptu interview. Ray was just walking across the street and Colin greeted him like a long-lost brother. It was great to see. It does warm the cockles of your heart. Do give it a watch. Right, Ben Hobbs says, afternoon all. Sundays are so good after a Town win. Nick missed it. Working, no Barnsley, long wait for him. We've got Wickham, that's his next game. Phil Blundell, another record-breaking afternoon for the Super Blues. Gino, keep on steam rolling the opposition and get out of this terrible league. Ben, Barnsley for Wednesday, on Tuesday is a big, big game. Yeah, how do you want that to go, Barnsley Wednesday? We tried this last night, me and my brother. I would like a Barnsley win, just to keep Wednesday in the mix, if you like. A draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world either. Daniel, how was your bar yesterday? Yes, it was beautiful. I worked there. Want to come and say hi and watch every show, but kofi. Daniel, you should have come and said hello. But the most important part of that is, if you worked there, why did I pay for my burger? Joking, of course. But no, you should have said it. You should have come and said hello. I always like to talk Ipswich Town Football Club with anybody. But yes, it was a great, actually. I had the smoky one. Is that the right? The smoky double thing with Jiggy? It was nice. It was really nice. Love a bit of Byron. Phil, if Barnsley win, they'll fancy their chances against us. And of course, every time I left Ipswich last night, there was Callie Bisler hanging around the Butter Market with a couple of his friends. I was like, Callie, do you not live like 3 hours away? Go home. And he was still enjoying the post-Town win feeling. We can all appreciate that. Before we go any further, if you'd like to support the platform, either one-off or on a monthly basis, please hit the join button on YouTube, do a super chat, or head to Ko-Fi and become a Talking Town Fifth Stander. The perk of that is not only just supporting the greatest fan platform Ipswich Town have got, in my opinion. I'm going to say that. Of course, I run it, but I think it's true. You do get access to the Discord, which has got opinions, and then some more opinions when you're not quite sure if you had enough opinions. So do support us if you can, one-off or on a monthly basis. Let's get cracking. Richard Moss.
You're talking utter fucking
50% off, Daniel says.
Well, there you go.
Now I really am upset he didn't come and say hello. Now I'm really offended. No, anytime Guv's got to get his wallet out, Crunch,
Well, we did see the dust cloud. I thought you might have got your wallet
Absolutely, we did. Yeah, absolutely. How are you? It's a Sunday after a win.
Marvellous.
Another one in the bank.
Marvellous, mate. Marvellous. 6 on the bounce. Happy days.
It feels good.
Enjoy it. And you're unhappy with the pitch.
I'm angry, really, because it's going to cost us. We've had a little bet today, haven't we, me and you? £5, not much.
Yeah, I would have put 0. I would have put 0 on the end. I'm that confident.
Yeah, because you're okay. This is the bet, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the way we water the pitch, particularly when it rains all day, like it did yesterday, that will cost us at least once between now and the end of the season. Someone will slip.
Has anybody slipped over in?
Everyone was slipping yesterday.
No, but leading to a goal. Has it cost us in the 19 home games in the league so far?
Not yet, but it rained all day yesterday. Come on, you got to be honest. There's saturation, and then there's waterlogging.
I've done my groundsman's courses, Martin. You know, they want a slick surface. The pitch is shit. The pitch is rubbish. The pitch is going. Look, it's on Kieran's say-so. He wants that pitch watered. What I always chuckle at is the groundsman. Look, they do a great job. They're working with a crap surface at the minute. It'll be 100% better next year. Is dragging them bloody hose pipes across the pitch. You know, we are in 2023, and all these other clubs, even Accrington and Stanley, have got pop-ups come out the grass. There they come, sprinklers. Whoop, go on. No, there's us dragging a hose pipe across the grass. I mean, come on.
Maybe that is the future, my friend. Maybe that's the future, but who knows? But yeah,
passing surface is what we wanted.
There was definite waterlogs in front of the cobblestone. That ball was coming over to West Bands.
Go to Rotherham versus Cardiff. That's what
you
want to look at.
That?
Yes.
The groundsman pushing it back onto the pitch.
Not looking that he's enjoying his work. I see the video where the Rotherham players are all sort of sheltered. That took me back to when it snowed, when we played Leicester City, back in the Keane days, Martin. They're all sheltered, having a little giggle to themselves. They're probably thinking, yeah, we're 1-0 down. Look, we got the game called off, lads. Fancy going to bar and a couple of beers. Off we go.
Absolutely. I love that. And to anyone who's not been with us all season, the pitch and the way they water it has been a gripe of mine all year long.
I wouldn't say that it's the pitch. I think sometimes it's the footwear that they wear. But that's whole issue with football.
Possibly so.
Do they get the longer studs out, Gov? Do they get the longer studs that we used to have?
What is it? Do they even wear studs anymore?
Yeah, like little blades, and they.
It's all moulded, isn't it?
Yeah, like blades.
I couldn't stand mould when I played. Really couldn't stand them. Ben says, Morsey avoid the ban. Think the last 3 games, best of City with Township. Let's start with Sam Morsey.
Quickly, what was your first pair of football boots?
Oh, an Adidas.
I had Patrick.
Can't.
You remember when you used to put dubbing on your boots? You're a bit too young, aren't you? The older generation, when you had to put dubbing on them. Colin will know. Colin's in the chat.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what. I know when I was a kid. I mean, obviously, I've always had big feet, so boots have never really been my thing I care about. I have now, yeah. Obviously, as a kid, you always had bigger feet than. So I would always wrap my laces around the middle. You don't see that anymore.
No, you don't. Some of them don't really even have laces, do they?
No, they're just like slip-ons, aren't they? And I would always cheeky this sort of, not mind too much about walking on concrete with studs.
Sharpen them up a little bit.
Well, sharpen them up, son. You're a centre half. You know what I mean?
Even at 12.
Never too young for a. You got to do your job, Crunch. You got to do your job.
Down the back of the Achilles. Sorry. Oh, a bit sharp.
I never did that. James remembers a match we had Man City at the Old Main Road, 2-0 down. Match got abandoned for 30 minutes.
It was 1-0. It was 1-0, and it was in the League Cup at the time when Burley was in charge. It got abandoned, and then they went back there and played. Mark Venus scored the winner.
Kian misses the OG Predators. Anyway, right, Sam Morsey. If you've not been on social media today, you would have missed Callie Bisler Player Management Services promotion tweet. But it is on there. Go do check it out. But how good was he yesterday? In all fairness to Callie, the clip he's shown is sublime. He's blocked the shot, won the header, chased it down, found a yard of pace from somewhere I didn't know he had. Sublime.
If he'd have only had a left foot, he would have. Because where was the goalkeeper, Martin?
That was like Wickham away again last year.
He's literally scrambling. I'm thinking, where were you? You know, But it likened me when he had that ball and he had like 5 players chasing him. It was like, do you remember when you used to go to school and you'd have a really good footballer at break time? And literally you'd have all the kids chasing after him and nobody could get the ball off him. It was like stuck to his foot. Look, he was superb yesterday and he's been superb. I'd say most of the season. He's had a bit of a dip like the team did. He's done well, Martin, because he's gone, I think, 9 games without a yellow. He's 1 yellow in his last 16 games. So get your money on Sam getting booked at Derby after about 10 minutes when he probably clatters Conor Horan.
Which is absolutely fine with me. He can do it now until the end of the season. But he was sublime. He has been for the last couple of weeks, but yesterday particularly,
definitely
really good. Really leading by example, being the captain we all know him to be.
Yeah, I think. Oh look, and he even paid for Callie's Wagamams. Oh, blimey!
Didn't pay for mine.
Unbelievable. Well, if you'd have gone there, maybe you'd have got it. Look, I don't think it was just him yesterday. It was the whole team, and it was his midfield partner as well, Massimo Luongo. You know, we did say on this channel why have we signed him, but finally we're seeing now, Martin, he's fit, and he's going to be a pivotal player between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I said I wanted to see him against better opposition. Obviously, that's now coming up in terms of the fixtures. But yesterday, Shrewsbury played their part, but he was phenomenal. And he has been threatening to score a goal for the last several weeks.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I was there when he scored his only other town goal. His only other town goal.
Where was that? When was that?
Away at Carlisle.
See, I wasn't there.
In the League Cup.
Yeah, it must have been the League Cup. Yeah.
But
he was great yesterday.
I'm about 4:30 in the morning. It was a long night, that was. But yeah, look, superb, great finish. You know who that likened? He was on Co-Coms yesterday on the iFollow. Tommy Miller. That was a Tommy Miller finish, Martin. He just sort of into the box, didn't even think about it. Bang, into the net. 2-0, game over. And it was that second goal that it gave us that little bit of breathing space, didn't it? Because we were 1-0 up and pretty comfortable, I'd say, when you win at half time. But you never know when you're 1-0 up, and if it's 1-0, it gets 20, 25 minutes in and everyone gets maybe a little bit edgy. But it calmed everybody down. And then really, 2-0 was probably kind scoreline when it to Shrewsbury when you think of it in the end. Should have probably, the goal from Chaplin probably doesn't look offside us in the replay. We can talk about the penalty. I do not know how that's a dive for Broadhead when he's got wiped out in the box. George Hurst hit the post. So look, comfortable 2-0 victory, and we on to the next game. And
it was comfortable, but you got to give sort of Shrewsbury some credit. They came, as you said, they would probably come to try and win the game because they're chasing the playoff patch themselves. So they had to get 3 points. And any time a team at Bournemouth Road comes to win the game, I would fancy us because we were dominant from the fifth minute onwards, and then we never looked back. It was just not easy, but it was never in doubt. They
had a couple of chances, didn't they? Obviously, Walton in the first half. Then that's I think it was Leahy with a header. Good save. We tipped it over. There was another one.
And then that was a great save, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's all about the first goal. Look, I've said on here before, and I think a lot of people have said it. If teams come and play football, mate, like you've just said, 99 times out of 100, we'll win them games, and then they will. But saying that, if you watch us now from probably 2 months ago, it's the speed of ball for me. You know, they zip that ball about a lot quicker. When we're slow and we're pedestrian, and these teams can all funnel back in, that's when, like Bristol Rovers, like night and day. When you look at Bristol Rovers, it was 7 games ago. That night we went there, we were poor, moved the ball slowly. 6 games later, we're 6 games, 6 wins. We're on Plymouth's tails. We're not that far behind Sheffield Wednesday now. You know, we've closed that gap at 2 points yesterday because they drew at Bolton. So it's all about that momentum. Like you said, the big M, the big Mo.
Big Mo on our sideline.
Now we've got 2 weeks off. Probably, is that going to benefit us? We don't know. We don't know because we haven't been great in previous regimes when we've had international breaks, Martin, and come back. And I think if you probably look at the stats, it's not great. But they couldn't play that game against Barnsley anyway. They can go and put their feet up now. Just keep your fingers crossed that Broadhead and Wes Burns come back in one piece. Don't pick up any injuries. And personally now, I'd pick the same side now for Derby as we played the last 2 games. I don't see need for any changes. As long as everybody's fit, you've got a clean bill of health. Team picks itself at the minute.
Yeah, I think it really does. Do you think they might try and factor in some sort of like training game at the weekend as it's international break against somebody else behind closed doors? Just keep
Possibly
the,
keep them
the
ticking
engine
over.
ticking.
They'll probably get a couple of days off this week. I'd have thought, start of the week and just a light training week. I'd have thought, is there a need for this stage of the season for any training games? I'd have probably said no. Look, you want to take that risk away of maybe picking up an injury, Martin. I'd be keeping it pretty low key until you go into next week, and then you build up in going into Derby a week on Saturday.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Massimo Longo then coming into his own. People are sitting in the chat saying, no surprise, our upturn of form has coincided with him coming into the team. I'll counter that with it's no surprise the fixture list a bit kinder.
Yeah, but saying that, Cameron Humphreys, probably a bit unlucky he's not got a place on the bench, because he's been replaced by Don Ball. But I think now you're seeing, and look, we're all hoping the next 9 games, Martin, that we're going to get the amount of points that we need to get out of this league. Luongo can play a big part, but there will be sterner tests to come. But he did play. He played well with Morsey at Bolton last week. But I think on our day, even if we miss out on the top 2 and Plymouth get enough points, and if they do, we just have to say, look, congratulations, well done. We shouldn't be fearing anybody in the playoffs. It's all about gaining that momentum. And if it has to be another 3 games on tag on the end of your season and we have to get it at Wembley and win at Wembley, so be it, so be it. It's just, you just got to keep that momentum going now. That's all you got to do. Keep it building, and hopefully somewhere along the line, Plymouth might drop some points. They go to Accrington, I think, on Tuesday night. I think they'll win there. If I'm being honest. I don't think Accrington are any great shakes. They're not the team that they used to be with Sydenham this season. They've lost probably their best players, have been sold. So
haven't got a great away record, have they?
No, that's probably where if they are good. I think they got 52 from 57 points at home. So look,
yeah, phenomenal.
Absolutely fantastic. So it's look, and I agree with Phil Blunt that he said could be playing posh in the playoffs. They're probably the one team at the minute who you never know, Martin, what Peterborough you are going to see.
No, you're right. You're right.
Good one week and absolutely terrible the next week. You know how they smashed Plymouth, didn't they? 5-2. Then they drew 0-0 with Charlton, and then I think I can't remember when they lost. Now they've won the last 2. If they win their game in hand, they're a point out. They're the typical playoff team for me who scrape in. It's like you got the golden ticket, You fall in them playoffs, and then it's like you won the pool. Yeah, but you've got a free hit if you're Peterborough United getting into them playoffs because you haven't played that well all season. You get in there, you play 3 good games, Mark. We've all seen it before. The 6th place team. Just because we're third, and if we do finish third, that's the season's gone. That's wiped out. We're going to probably, whoever comes third, if it's us, Plymouth, it could be Barnsley. We're ruling them out. I don't think we should. Whoever comes third is probably going to get north of 92 points. So how does that? How do you react to that psychologically? Thinking, blimey, past gone seasons, that would have probably seen you up, wouldn't it, in the top 2?
Yeah.
Whereas that's gone, and then you're just playing cup football. And we've all seen, like I said to Colin this morning and Mike, you've seen the standard of refereeing, Martin, in this league. Pretty poor, I'd say. Pretty poor. Now you get in the playoffs, you could have a bad refereeing decision, and your season is gone out the window, just like that. It could. Yeah. That's how it goes. In the playoffs, a bit of luck. So let's just hope between now and the end of the season we can get more points than the other 2 teams. And we don't have to go through the playoffs because we probably don't really want to do it. I know it's exciting if you if you win.
It's exciting for the TV and the neutrals and everybody else.
Set up for, really.
Not, well, exactly, yeah. But no, spot on the money. But I think if anyone's going to break into that top 6 and change the top 6 from the top 6 that are currently there, you are also contending with what we are hoping we've got, momentum. Because if Posh break in, they would have broken in with momentum. Or a Wickham or whoever.
I might be going to watch them because it's only like 20 minutes up the road. They're playing Derby. So I've had a word with Hobbs this morning, and I'm hoping that Loachy can get me a ticket.
Support your local team, Crunch. Well done, mate.
Might do a bit of scouting. Bit of scouting for the Saturday after.
I'm sure Kieran will be having your number on speed dial.
I'm sure he'll be there himself, or somebody will.
Stephen Pay, Posh need to offer more. They are still flaky. 2 wins don't change that. Harps is talking about sort of Connor Chaplin in the chat. It's about Connor Chaplin's game yesterday. And then how did you view our talisman's game? Thank you.
I thought he was okay. I didn't think we had any poor players yesterday, really. Chaplin's made the second goal with the run. But we can criticise the referees all we want, but for some reason, that second goal, Martin, he plays on when Wes Burns nearly gets put in the crowd. He gets body checked by the left back, and he literally, I don't know, he's not playing an advantage. He's just not given a free kick. Wes has come up covered in mud from down the side there, obviously where it's a bit muddy down the touchline. So, yeah, look, Chaplin, it was a great run. He's jinked inside. It's a little bit of luck, the deflection, and goes into long, goes place. But look, Connor's had an outstanding season. He didn't score yesterday. He probably should have scored with the goal that was disallowed. So he's allowed to have a little bit of an off day, but I didn't think he played that bad, if I'm being honest.
No, I think actually he worked his way into the game, whereas I think Broadhead, playing the very similar position on the other side, didn't work his way into the game at all for me. Sort of 10, 15 minutes in, I was sort of calling from both. Get in the game, get in this game, particularly Broadhead, who I felt was struggling to really get into it. Chaplin, for me, worked his way in perfectly, really started to contribute, everything else, as you just said there. Whereas Broadhead was his more quiet game, certainly his most quiet game.
I still like his work ethic, because he's an attacking player, Martin. He likes going forward, but he still gets back, he wins his tackles, and he works hard. Like Wes Burns yesterday, we're probably going to come on to Wes. Wes was great going forward, but look at the amount of work that he did going back the other way, winning his tackles, winning his headers. Second balls, he was there. It was the Burns from last season. Yesterday, I thought that was his best game of the season I've seen that he played.
Really?
But yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was excellent yesterday, Wes Burns. I thought he was really good. Obviously, he set up the first goal, didn't he, with a great cross.
Got the assist, yeah.
Yeah, great ball. Look. Great. If you watch the replay, Hurst makes 2 runs, doesn't he? He does that right. And then he goes ahead. It is. Have you seen the split screen? Look,
and it is. It's almost.
Yeah, it is almost. If he's half as good a player as Marcus Stewart, George Hurst, I think we'd have a good player on our hand. And he's another.
He's done really well, though. To be fair,
Yeah, I know you were a little bit sort of sceptical when he signed, weren't you? A little bit.
I was not impressed at all, and I said the only person who can convince me otherwise is the player himself.
That were actually your words. I thought, he's a good signing, and I think now he's benefiting. He's benefiting from. He's played the game at Bolton. He's been picked again yesterday. Now he's going to have a couple of weeks off. Will he get picked at Derby? I'd have thought he probably would do. I personally, this is no slight on Ladapo, who's been. I think he's had a really good season. I think your ceiling for George Hurst, Martin, is higher than Freddie Ladapo, if I'm honest. I think all round as a player, I think he's a better player.
It's weird, isn't it? Because we're talking about Freddie Ladapo, who's got double-digit goals.
Yeah, he's got 16 goals.
And I probably agree. I think we play better as a team with George Hurst in it than with Freddie Ladapo in it. He's more of the target man. He's more of the lone striker role that is needed in the system. He works hard. He holds it.
Fair to Freddie, when we signed him, and you had the guy from Rotherham on, and he said he played in a 2, and he's had to learn that role. Whereas George Hurst, I think he's probably played this role before. He looks like he has, to me. It doesn't look alien to him. He's like, he's got 2 or 3 defenders around him. Yeah, give me the ball. I can hold it up. I can lay it off. I can do my bits. But he works really hard as well, Martin, as well. George Hurst.
He's Alan Lee 2.0. I said that when I first saw him, and I think it every time I watch him play. He's such an Alan Lee type player where it's all or nothing. Charge you down from 30 yards away if I have to, and he can finish. He's got a great finish. That header yesterday, that volley, side foot volley at Bolton, they're great finishes. And they're
unlucky to one in the second half. It's the post. He's hit that probably too well.
Yeah,
it probably goes in the corner, and he's really caught it well.
But he don't have made it hits the north stand or anything like that. He knows where the net is, and you can see he's an instinctive. That header, it's a phenomenal goal from start to finish. Assist and finish, but the finish particularly is such a lovely finish that you can't. It just one of those picturesque goals when you see it live, not on TV. When you see it live.
But it's confidence as well, isn't it, with a striker? Now he's got that monkey off
fitness.
His back. He obviously scored at the goal against Burnley, didn't he, in the cup, and then he was back on the bench, I think, Saturday after. But now he's got that monkey off his back with the goal he scored at Bolton. Now he scored yesterday. He's got 9 games to go. If he gets another 5 or 6 goals, and I think I did say, mine, if he gets 8 goals, I think when we done the show,
and we agreed, yeah.
Yeah, I think if he gets 8 goals, he did at the time when he came in. Hawks did say he reminds him a little bit of Chris Wood at that time, because we all remember Chris Wood when he came in. He wasn't really fit, and now he's up to speed. Now George Hurst, he's got them minutes in his leg. Well, they use
that's
another phrase, isn't it?
Much.
20.
It's a
Get the minutes. Got to manage his minutes.
But you're right. You hadn't played that often in the first part of the season for anybody. So yeah, minutes in the legs for the new phrase.
Well, they don't complete 90 minutes. It doesn't matter who starts up top for Town. They're not doing a 90 minutes. Very, very rare.
But that was something else yesterday that felt better. It felt less pre-planned. Do you know what I mean? Like the subs felt more in line with the flow.
When you're winning, Martin, and playing well, I think you probably don't take so much notice of it, if I'm being honest.
No, I did. Because at 60 minutes, I said to me, Nan, right, here we go. We'll see a sub in a minute. 60 minutes, we'll see at least 1 or 2 changes. And it didn't happen. So I was looking out for it, thinking it's going to be, almost by the minute. But yes, it felt more in line with the flow of the game.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Sometimes our subs are just ridiculous. They sit there and you think, huh?
I was listening to Steve Cottrell. And he was waxing lyrical about Town. Said he's the best. We're the best team that they played this season. And he said, like, the 5 subs that we've brought on, and they would mind. They would probably walk into most teams in League One, wouldn't they? It's an embarrassment of riches. Steve Cottrell, Steve Cottrell. Shout out to him yesterday, because where we sit, Martin's right by the dugouts. We had some really good banter with him first half. He was, I almost made him smile. Almost. He was almost there.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. He had to turn away.
Wait until you got Barnsley in the playoffs, mate. You can say your mate, can't you?
Nord.
Yeah. Captain in the bin. Don't fancy Barnsley in the playoffs?
I'd fancy anybody. Town will beat anybody. We will beat anybody. We are good enough to beat anyone in the playoffs. Fear no one. Fear no foe.
I don't like it when opposition managers wax lyrical about us after we've beaten them. It always feels like.
Well, I don't like when they wax lyrical about us when they've taken a point or they've beaten us.
It's almost like, we got beat by this team today, but of course we did. They're the best team in the division. It's like, of course we got beat by them. I always feel like that's.
We'll hollow. Let's see where we finish. The best team in the division wins the league. Our friend Mr. Cowley, Matt's Essex boy, he did say that Town were, what did he call us? Probably the best League One team ever. That's what he called us.
Do you think, back to this before I drop the link, back to the question at the start of the show, do you think Town could win the title?
No. No.
The Wednesday fan I spoke to yesterday, he said...
Yeah, but I just think, I think that's just football fans in general. If that was us, we would probably be saying them same things, because I think you're safeguarding yourself a little bit. Oh, shit, we drew with Bolton. Oh, yeah, a bit nervous. Oh, we got to go to Barnes. That's football fans all over, mine. I think they're protecting themselves. They'll go to Barnsley. They'll go to Barnsley. They'll get a result at Barnsley. And even if they don't...
a couple of things, Somebody left in a boot on Friday night. Was it Windass?
Josh Windass?
Yeah, apparently left in a moon boot Friday night.
Look, we hope they do have a couple of slip-ups, and then it comes a lot tighter, and then it's 2 into 3. But I think at the minute it's going to be between, it's probably 3 out, 1 out the 3 for second, isn't it? I can't see Wednesday, 23 games unbeaten. I can't see them falling away, Martin, and not winning the league. I'd be really surprised if they did.
True. Hey, Harps, no criticism on the fist pump yesterday. The man deserved his fist pump. He was fucking phenomenal yesterday, was Harry Clark. He deserved every single bit of that fist pump.
Oh, so you like it now?
No. But if you play as well as you did yesterday, and he did play well, he was phenomenal going forward, phenomenal in defence, charging everything down, passion, love it. Then you can fist pump. But it's still early doors for me, I'm afraid. The jury is still deliberating on whether it's acceptable or not.
Very hard to please, you are.
Yeah, I am very hard. Just ask my wife. Incredibly hard to believe. But yes, it is Windass who left apparently on the moon boot. 15 goals. If they lose him for any number of times. That's a big loss. 15 goals disappearing.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but I don't really care.
And George Byers is apparently injured.
More worried about what we do. We've got no control over any other team.
Very true. Very, very true. Right, let's bring in a man who's with us just on the full-time show, Phil Blundell. Phil, welcome in, my man. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good, man. You've slept on it. You're so angry you ran out of words. That must be an old secondary name. But how are you feeling this afternoon after yesterday's, well, I think, dominant performance?
I'm absolutely buzzing. I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to this run-in. I've just been looking at the fixture list for the month of April, and there's one thing that I didn't mention yesterday was the fact that, you know, every team now, pretty much in this league, looking at the run-in, they've got a lot of games in April, and there's not many teams that have got 8 games like us in April. I think, you know, Plymouth, Bolton, they've got 8 games. They've got that, you know, final to play yet. But of all the teams in the run-in gunning for promotion, I would say is probably best equipped for the run-in is us, because we've got the biggest and best squad in the division.
Richard Moss, over to you.
Yeah, but I don't want to be making many changes, if I'm honest. They might have to round. They've got a couple of. I've obviously got the games at Easter, haven't they? And then we've got obviously Port Vale. Look, it's busy. It's busy. We're probably going to have to utilise the squad, and hopefully keep your fingers crossed that you don't get too many injuries. It depends. If you get injuries, it depends who gets injured, Martin. You know, if we got an injury now at centre half, we're going to be a little bit short there because you're probably going to have to use Richard Keogh, Phil. That wouldn't fill us with confidence, would it?
Well, we can play Clark at one of the centre half positions, can't we?
Don Ball
in there. Possibly Don Ball. I thought, you know,
yeah, I don't think you'd be playing someone like Don Ball and risking him, Martin, when he's not really played there all season. He's hardly come back for it. You just wouldn't play Keogh.
I'd play you over Keogh.
I knew he was going to say that.
I'd fucking play a lad keep out there.
But it does depend. You want people like Broadhead. You need him to keep fit. You need Chaplin to stay fit. You need West. We need everyone to stay fit in that first 11, and then you might have the little tweak here and there. But
yeah, you need that bit of luck, don't you? Really, that
you do need a bit of
luck. Like last week, Phil, with Leif Davis hobbling off. You know, that could have been a real serious injury. It could have been a season ender. It could have been anything. It turns out, touch wood, it hasn't been anything. But you know, you get that, and that's a lot of goals disappearing. You know, a lot of chances certainly disappearing from your team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think McKenna's. You know, he's been cautious when he needs to be cautious with protecting players so far, especially with the substitutions. Yeah, that Davis one that looked bad when he went off, but you know, thankfully it wasn't anything. But you know, just looking at the position that we're in at the moment and the run that we've been on, you know, looking forward to sort of next week and the week after. It's going to be sod's law if, you know, Broadhead and Burns comes back injured from next week, and no one would like that. Although, you know, again, we've got the squad to cope for it, but they would be 2 big losses from the you know, the games we have been playing.
You said yesterday your man of the match was Massimo Malongo. Before I let you go, is he still your man of the match, or have you thought
he is?
Perhaps could push him all the way.
He is still my man of the match because. I think, you know, I think with the press yesterday, they particularly highlighted him with his performance yesterday and the goal that he got with the contribution to the team. For me, is the reason why I actually gave him that much. And you know, since he's come into the team, you know, playing alongside Morse, I personally think that he's improved Morse's performances of late. You know, Morsey hasn't, you know, obviously with the yellow cards thing. You know, just imagine if he'd been booked yesterday, you know, 2 games out, you know, against, you know, Derby and who is it? I think we've got Derby and Wycombe coming up. I mean, say that would have been a loss for us. I think the town fans would have, you know, felt a loss midfield. Although, you know, we've got sufficient cover for Morsey, but he is an important player for us, and I wouldn't want to see him missing for 2 or 3 games. No way. There is a couple of things I do want to mention from yesterday. I was watching the Football League highlights yesterday. It was Sean Derry yesterday saying that of all the transfer windows, of all the teams in any division in January is not a good transfer window for many clubs, but it's been really kind to Ipswich, and McKenna's really played that very well. With the 4 players that he's brought in, you know, every single one of those has improved our team performance, and that's why I'm looking so much to run in. I thought the referee did okay yesterday. I mean, I wanted to talk about that Broadhead challenge. you know, that penalty that wasn't, because he booked the Shrewsbury left back, I think that number 3, for a bad one on Burns, you know, sort of a poorly mistimed challenge on Burns when he was flying down that right hand side, and rightly so he booked him. I can't believe that he books Broadhead for simulation in the area. So I think me and pretty much everyone in the stand that was sitting in total disbelief when he showed the yellow card. But, you know, I mean, so on that, I think on the left-hand side in the first half, was it Burns and Davis? They were being sort of manhandled out of the game for me. I think there was 3 or 4 times that I thought that I saw Shrews play on the back of Davis, and he didn't do anything about it.
Rich, you're a referee. How did you see? Because yesterday it went, as I said, it probably would go midweek, where he was a bit card heavy, liked the yellow.
If you look at the challenge on Walton, where he's got the cut, he doesn't actually blow for a foul there, because the play goes on, it hits the crossbar, then it comes down and there's a melee in the box, and he gives a foul there. So look, I thought he was average, Phil. I think a lot of these times these referees they're guessing. Like Matt Stannard says, what did he say? Half the time didn't have a clue what was going on. And I think don't disagree with it. I don't disagree. I think the standard of officiating, not just in our league, all over, is real poor. And it's hard. It's a hard job. It is a hard job. But
I thought it was all right, to be fair.
Yeah, I would say in the end he was all right, because we played very well. But, you know, if we'd end up drawing that game yesterday with the decisions that he made, especially the Broadhead penalty, there would be outrage. There would be an outrage amongst us. I say.
That's a different story, though, isn't it? If you don't get the 3 points and that happens, absolutely. I think I thought it was a standard. That said, I've seen a clip this morning from the Sunderland game in the Championship where penalties have been given. Don't expect better. Don't expect.
Was it windy up there?
But don't expect much better in the league above. That's what I'm going to say to you. Even if we do get there, don't expect suddenly referees overnight to go from, you know, subpar to par, because it doesn't look any better than the league above, Rich. Let's be honest.
No, I agree. I see that Sunderland penalty this morning. Blimey. Quite windy up Stadium of Light yesterday, Phil, obviously. Gust of wind must have blown. Wait till you see it. You'll just laugh.
It reminded me of last week with the Dapo, where against Bolton the week before when we were at home, where the Dapo's nowhere near their centre half, and he just sort of falls over.
Oh, that was against Burton and down by the corner flag.
That's what it reminded me of.
He was in trouble knowing that he's running towards his own corner flag, and he suddenly, oh shit, I'll fall on the foot. Oh, I've got a free kick.
Grab the ball, and the referee's got a choice to make. Do I give a handball or do I give a free kick? And normally, always, they give the free kick. But anyway, Phil, we love you. We appreciate it.
Just one more thing. Just one thing.
Colin Plum, one more thing.
Right. Right. TWDD are reporting that we're interested in Colby Bishop now from Pompey. And I think if we fail to get promoted this season, if we do fail to get promoted, I can't see Chappers being here next season. I think that he's kind of indicated that he's itching. He's chomping at the bit to get out of this division, and I hope we do. But I mean, say if we don't get promoted and Chappers goes, I think Colby Bishop would be a good placement as far as I'm concerned. 22 goals so far this season.
Colby Bishop, if we're promoted, not for me, Rich.
He was on my shopping list for this league. If he all right in this league, he wouldn't be a replacement for Chaplin because he's a totally different player, because he plays the role that Hurst or Ladapo plays. So does that mean that you wouldn't sign? I think if we didn't go up, you wouldn't get George Hurst, Martin. I think he'll go probably to a championship team. If we go up, I'd probably be signing Hurst. I think he's good. He's good enough to play in the championship. Look, he's that. What is he? 20, 23, 24, George Hurst? Sooner or later, these players, they need to nail down a team, not keep being that player who goes on loan from one club to the next, like Christian Walton did, Phil. He went round the clubs, loan player. Sooner or later, you have to nail down some roots and say, right, I'm going to sign for this team, 2 or 3 year contract. George Hurst, good age, 24, get him in.
Just before I go, just one other thing. Just looking at the run-in, with our home games, I would fully now expect us to win the last 4 home games, which would put us on 87. Right, so which of the away games do you fancy us to go there and get maximum points?
All of them.
Derby, Cheltenham, Peterborough, Barnsley, and Fleetwood. For me, I think the ones that I'm not so sure about, I mean, racking my mind about it. I think the ones I'm not so sure about are Cheltenham, Fleetwood, and Barnsley, simply because I think I'm saying last week, what was Alfie May? He scored a couple of absolute blinding goals, didn't he? superb goals, and I just think I'm saying we shouldn't be fearing anyone, but he's a player that I sort of fear because he's been a top goal scorer at this level for Cheltenham, and you could probably argue that he's probably one of the main reasons why Cheltenham's still in the division.
If we can't beat teams like Cheltenham, Phil, we don't deserve to get out of this league. That's what I'll
True, I agree with that. I agree with that, and also the Fleetwood game. I think that when we played them down here at Portman Road, we were unlucky not to win the game, albeit sort of a wicked, massive reflection of Burgess. But I just think, for me, the way that Fleetwood are playing with Scott Brown as the manager there,
they'll be in sandals by that point.
I just hope. I'm saying, just looking at those last 3 games of the season, obviously you think Barnsley's got something to play, but Exeter and Fleetwood, hopefully they'll be sitting on.
Too far ahead, Phil.
I know, but hopefully they'll be sitting on the beach, mate. Hopefully they'll be sitting on the beach.
You've got to get yourself to that point. I really think you're looking.
Bring ourselves back. Bring ourselves back to Derby.
Yeah. No, I do genuinely think that. And
look, we can do that. We can do that as fans. You can say, right, this game we're going to win. This game we're going to lose this. As players and managers, Phil, they'll just be looking at the next game. We can get carried away. We're allowed to.
Absolutely. Right, Phil. Right. Appreciate it, buddy. Look after yourself. Have a great Sunday afternoon. I do think, though, if you want to look at the 2 fixtures, we'll bring the fishermen in. Wickham and Derby, that's the big one for me. They're the big 2. You get 6 points out of that, we'll finish top 2. Anything less than 6, be playoffs for me.
I tend to agree with you there. Derby, I think that was their first defeat, Martin, since about probably November. Did anybody expect Fleetwood to go there and beat them? Probably not. No. I want to be. I said to the boys yesterday at the end of that game, I want to be in that away end at Derby in just under 2 weeks' time at 10-5. We've just got the points, and Harry Clark is running towards us.
And I'll fist bump with him.
I'll tell you what, I cannot wait for that fixture to come round. I'm so looking forward to it. We're taking over 3,000 to Derby. And I think the way we're playing, I don't fear going there. They're a good side. They've got some good players, but don't be afraid of anyone. If we prepare and do the right things, and you have to have a little bit of luck, Martin, we know that, along the way, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We've got no control over any other team, what they do. We just do our own thing. And if it sees us second, brilliant. And if it doesn't, and we're in the playoffs, we'll face them and then we'll win them. I'm confident we're going up. Whatever way, we will be celebrating in May.
I am not disagreeing with you, but I just think get those 6 points that weekend. Those 2 games, and that sets you up for Cheltenham, your Charltons, your Port Vales, your Poshes, your Barnsleys, your Exeters, blah blah blah. But you get through that with maximum points, and you've recovered the ground you lost against the teams you should have got the top of the points from. And people will say to me now, "Oh, I'll take 4, or we'll take 3." I still think you're playing catch up from the Cheltenhams, your Lincolns.
From where we were, I know we're only 2 points behind. Look, we could have been more behind. We've cut that in 6 games. So it will be a case of what if we finish by a couple of points, Martin. It will be, because that's just what fans are like. You'll be looking, and it will all come back to that Charlton game for me. There's games where we've let last-minute goals in. There's no games where I've probably ever been to where we've let 2 injury time goals in, and we scored 2 goals in injury time. That's the game that it could cost us in the end, but hopefully it won't.
But what's interesting, though, is now with Barnsley being moved, the way the fixtures are sort of setting themselves up, if you like, you've got Derby, Wickham, Cheltenham. If you get through those 3 with maximum points, that sets yourself up for 2 home games, and then you've got Posh, Barnsley, Exeter and Fleetwood. So you could really set yourself up into great contention for that back end of the 4 games, but you've got 2 traditional tougher games, 2 traditional softer games. But one game at a time. I really do think you've got to walk, not sprint. Don't overlook a Cheltenham. Don't overlook a Port Vale.
Do you remember Crew Alexandra under George Burley?
Yes.
When we played them at home and we thought, we'll beat them. They come and rolled us over. And that cost us. So let's not get carried away. Don't get complacent. It's still a lot to play for. That said, go on.
No, go on. I was going to say, that said, if it is 2 points, Rich, I'm going to be on Kieran McKenna's door in the summer saying, can we discuss that good point at Charlton, please?
Well, he said it was a good point, and the one at Sheffield Wednesday. There'll never be good points.
Well, if he divides out by 2 points or 2 points or less, I will be on his door.
But it's all about the end result. If it's second, if it's first, even better. If it's at Wembley and we win and we have, look, it would be brilliant if we went to Wembley and we took 40,000 in Martin and we won. But nothing's guaranteed in the playoffs, and we know that. So Let's just see what happens.
I think whatever happens, it will go down to the final game of the season. It will be phone check-in at Fleetwood.
Well, we're no good fucking phone checking at Portman Road because no one's fucking phone works. Shit
Well,
service.
they don't, but
It's
someone
the fucking
still.
Wi-Fi code. Come on.
But someone still finds a way to give me a WhatsApp message from time to time. It's because this
It
man
will.
here, the legendary
It will work now and
fisherman,
again.
keep calm. Here he is.
How you doing,
Long time no
boys? All
see, Michael. How are we?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I was going to do a song, but I'm going to
Go
wait
on.
until the end of the season. A special little one just for Colin, but I'll leave it for now. Look, we should not be fearing anyone. Do you know the game that I was more worried about than there was two games I was worried about actually, leading into the run that we've had. One was Bolton and one was Shrewsbury. Both two teams that were in form, both sort of, bit dogged, bit rugged, and we've rolled them over. And yesterday, for me, was probably the best game I've seen all season on my iFollow armchair. You know?
You have to get that in there, don't you? You have to get that in there.
Absolutely. I've been told I'm an armchair fan sometimes,
His
Look,
wonky stick.
for me, yesterday, it was a really good, complete team performance. It was the first time when I looked at this, I think probably really looked at this squad and thought, yeah, we are too good for this league. We need to get out. I mean, really thought, do you know what? We are too good for this league and we do need to get out. I am worried a little bit that if we don't get out of this league, will we keep some of the players? Players like Hurst, probably not. And would I go for Colby Bishop? Yeah. In this league, I would. If we go up, no, we need better. I think we'd be looking at better players, players that could possibly, consolidate us, if not sort of,
I've got a question for mine. So you used to, what did you call Leif Davis? The Waitrose left back.
The Waitrose left back, yeah.
What did you call Hadme? What was Hadme?
Poundland centre forward.
What are you calling George Hurst?
Oh, George Hurst is like. Oh, that's a good question. What's the old one? Like farm foods, like bulk buy.
No. I disagree. I think George Hurst is probably the Marks and Spencers.
Marks and Spencers.
Yeah, I think he is. I think if he'd have been consolidated in one team for a while, then he'd probably get Waitrose for me. But
he needs to do that anyway. He's that type of player who needs to have a club now.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
enough time going around all these different clubs.
Yeah.
If I was George Hurst's agent and I was George Hurst, I'd be looking at Ipswich and think, you know what? I think I need to sign for these. And no matter if we end up in stay in League One next season, because I am resided to the fact, not that we're going to be in League One, but the fact that we are building a squad to compete with the Championship.
Says Ann Summers, Mike.
And Summers.
Isn't Ricardo Waitrose anyway?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's just sort of a spin-off.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's farm foods, bulk buy. You go in there, what you see is what you get. No frills, but gets the job done. Farm foods every day of the week.
Food Warehouse, Iceland, then?
Oh, Iceland, yeah, another one. Could have
I think he's a bit better than that, isn't he? He's a bit better than that.
But he's not quite M&S. He's not quite.
Honestly, I'd give him Marks and Spencers because it is the next level down from Waitrose. They do tend to be a bit sort of specialist for those who. Oh, you want to see my hoodie? It's.
Keep calm. The fisherman is on Talking Town.
Yeah, I've had this a long while.
Yes, you're a legend of the game, mate.
Martin, tragedy, mate. Absolute tragedy happened the other day. My Talking Town cup got broke. I know. I swear to God, I was nearly in tears. So I've got to order a new one. I can't not have one. And it was my fault. I knocked it off a bloody work service, and I was like traumatized.
Don't talk to me about cups and breaking, mate. You know how I feel about cups. Like it hits me
honestly,
deep.
I am absolutely
deep.
gutted. I need my Talking Town cup. And
Keane Lever says he's co-op. Where's Sainsbury's, Mike? Where's Sainsbury's? Sainsbury's?
Oh, well, yeah, it can be a Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's is a bit sort of middle class to upper class place, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but then again,
it is.
no.
It is.
Well, don't worry, Mike, because we've got a lovely mug for you to buy here at Talking Town. There you go. Get yourself around that one, son. 14.49. Beautiful. Two-tone. Talking Town. New generation.
I like the old one.
What's the postage and package?
I've got no idea. I've never ordered from there. But I don't know. It's drop shipping, mate. I've got no clue. I don't know. No. Tell a lie. My wife's in the back bedroom making them all, hand painting them. Like, I don't know, do I?
I'll tell you something now, right? I'm going to give these.
You know, you're a slave driver, aren't you?
What's that?
I said on Mother's Day.
He's having a dig at me. He's having a dig at me.
I'll tell you something now, mate. Whoever you get them cups from, I'm really impressed because they go through the dishwasher and they do not fade. So
because that's a bugbear of mine, Michael.
Sorry?
That is a bugbear of mine. That is why. Because I do not like cups that go through dishwashers and break within 30 seconds. That's a bloody bugbear of mine.
Or the print fade. These haven't. I'm really gutted about my Talking Town mug. I've got to get a new one. No two ways about it. Can't not have
Question is,
Mike. Oh, no, they ain't got any.
Question is, will we be lifting a cup at the end of the season?
I hope not. I think we go through automatics. It'd be nice. I don't want a playoff, but if we are in the playoffs. That is what it is. Look, I said the other day, you know, right now we're doing what I said we need to do, and that is keep a relatively consistent team. Keep playing the way we are, and have form and a good running to the end of the season. Is there any team in this league I fear or I'm worried about? No, absolutely not. Not the way we're playing right now. There's not one team. Right now, if we played Plymouth or Sheffield Wednesday, we'd beat them. With the way we're playing, yesterday we was absolutely. I mean, look, I've given Sam Morsey some right criticism, and rightly so, to be fair, because he did go for a spell where I felt that he wasn't playing particularly well. But maybe that meeting that we had at the garage, you know, perhaps he thought, oh no, I better play harder. I don't want Fisherman give me any more grief, you know. But no, look, he was brilliant yesterday. And the bit that stood out for me more so was when the goalkeeper, who was in, I don't think no man's land would be quite the word. I think he was lost on an island somewhere, because what the hell was he doing where he was? I was like, oh my God, come on, Sam, just hit it with your left. Hit it with your left. No. But look, he had about 6 players around him and he kept holding the ball. It was like someone had super glued the football to his foot.
Do you remember?
There ain't many players.
Harry Enfield. Do you remember Harry Enfield? The sketch he used to do when it was glued to his foot.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Black and white.
Exactly.
Charlie Charles, I think that was Mike.
Yeah. But he was brilliant in the midfield yesterday. Luongo again, and look, he played against Bolton, so he's proving his worth. I just worry about his fitness because he's a bit injury prone. If we can just keep him fit, he'd be a player. I've got one little gripe. I don't know why we got Dominic Ball on the bench. If I'm brutally honest, there you go. We've got Humphreys supporters, leader of the Humphreys supporters club there, Mike. Well, no disrespect.
But you wanted Chaplin dropped as well, Mike, to be fair.
The last 2 games I see Ball play, he was absolute dog shit. You know, and that winds me up. While we've got such a young player, such a great young player, talented young player, and we've got Dominic Ball sat on the bench. No, I'm sorry. That's Martin had his gripe with the pitch, and mine is Humphreys not getting on the bench. I just find that very strange.
I've got no gripe. I'm happy to that.
But mine's a season-long gripe. Like, this is just now getting right on
my only gripe is the blackout shirts, Mike. Have you seen them?
Yeah. Oh, on what planet do they think they're popular? You get some.
55 pounds.
Yeah, ching ching. I just think stick to the away shirt, that third shirt they've got. Great, whatever. But
it's all about that leisure pound.
Yeah, to black out some of the absolute prime shirts that we've had over the years. No, you're all right.
80-81 shirt. Did they win the UEFA Cup in? No.
Yeah, and they blacked it out. Why?
Do you know what it feels like? It feels like when something becomes so popular that they take it so far that it becomes unpopular.
Is it for a younger audience? Are we being a bit grumpy, boys?
Maybe.
Well, I don't buy
that's a good shout. Can't argue with that. Maybe we are. Maybe we're being a little bit.
I'm not buying
when would you wear it? But when would you wear it?
The black shirt I love, but the black I prefer the one last year that Adidas brought out. I was gutted that they never released that. I thought that was
that was a good one.
That one. But
see, I always look at kits and I always think, where and when would I wear? I don't see myself putting down Tesco in a football kit. No offense. I just
full kit?
Definitely not a full
Really?
kit. I've learned that from a young
Right.
age. But just a shirt, even no. But you, Rich, I imagine you sleep in your shirt.
You what?
I imagine you sleep in your shirt. I imagine you probably have a shower in yours. I imagine you never take it off.
Just in my pants. Just in my.
I've actually got I've got last season's shirt on as well.
See?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I was worried there that was coming off at the same time.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, shut up.
Right, Mike.
You request them nudes, Rich. I know you do. So don't deny it. And
On that note,
send it to you.
On
that note, Michael,
Sorry?
we love you and we appreciate you.
You didn't ask me about man in the match yet.
Couldn't get after that. In a minute you're going to go OnlyFans, and I'm worried where it's going to go. So
No, I won't.
No. All right, who's your man of the match?
Wes Burns, mate. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday. An assist, another assist. He was just brilliant. Up and down the pitch, headering, tackling, crossing, pace, power. By far, man of the match. I mean, he was close to a 10 yesterday. I know nobody likes the 0.5s, but he was a 9.5 for me. The rest of the squad, all 8+. That was it was only 2-0, but I just thought we were so good yesterday. I think we'd have given many top teams in the Championship and lower end of the Premiership a bit of a run yesterday, the way we played. You
know what I like now when Mike comes on as well? No Caden Jackson talk.
No, I can't fault with him. He's playing there. But Rich, you're the same as me. We both said he's not a number 9. He's not an out and out.
He'll never play there again. Never play there again, Mike.
He should never play there again. He should play where he's playing now, covering for Wes Burns on that right hand side. What he does there, and that was where he should have come on. He was the one that should have come off against Plymouth to give that Mwamba, whatever his name is, a bit of a torrid time.
Agreed.
And like I said, if we don't go automatically, it'll be games like that where decisions like that were wrong. But look, I'm. How can you be unhappy in a moment? We're 7 games now, without conceding, and we've just got to keep going and keep winning the games. And realistically, I don't really see where we can lose a game.
Oh, fuck, he's cursed it now.
Why? I've been spot on all the time.
No, you haven't. Mike,
I've been bang on. I have been bang. There's been times this season where I thought, we ain't going to win this game or we're going to draw this game, and I was right.
Hang on.
You also said after Doncaster last year.
My messages. You'd got McKenna sacked at half time against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, but no disrespect. But you look at our form up until that point, Rich. No disrespect.
I still weren't sacking him. I still weren't sacking him.
I know, and I'd happily stand here and say, look, that was a wrong thing to do at that time, because look at what he's doing now. But right up until that point, his record was no better than Hurst's. Now, he's doing what he should have been doing, and that's keeping a consistent side. Stop.
What I would say is, you paid Broadhead for a reason. He did what he needed to do, but that game had the ability to go really badly, and it was bad at his first 40 minutes. But
if Michael Smith had got his touch right,
exactly. Anyway, Mike, I've got Colin waiting, and I've got to get 3-word reviews in. So have a great afternoon.
All the best, guys.
Look after yourself. Legend. Stephen says, stop moaning. Stop moaning, Steve. It's a podcast. I'm giving my opinion. The pitch is overwatered.
You're not moaning about
anything and everything. I'm just giving my opinion. Just letting you all know my thoughts and feelings.
Careful of them splinters, Beep. Careful of them splinters in the backside.
We love Beep. We love
Have
Beep.
you got a show tomorrow night?
You know what? I think Phillips thinks he's got one, but I don't know.
You don't need one. Let him put him on the shelf.
Yes, I know. Yeah, he chose to spend time with his mum. I mean, how ridiculous on Mother's Day.
Well, I don't know if his wife was working anyway. Why would you want to be doing a show and his new router and his microphone? It goes down 1 meg.
1 meg. Right, before we bring Colin in, let's have some 3-word reviews, courtesy of the Crunchers Social.
Hang on, 2 ticks. I've got to get them up. Careful.
While you do that,
Don't even go there.
remind people.
Don't even go there. Don't even say anything.
Just going to remind people, Diary of an Obsession by our very own goat, Colin Plum, is now available on Amazon. The emotional ride of supporting Ipswich Town. Join Colin, a loyal supporter over 50 years, as he journeys his passionate and heartfelt account supporting the Super Blues. Head to amazon.co.uk and grab yours today. And of course, we've got tickets available still for March the 30th.
140 we've sold now.
And we've got a max capacity of what, 150?
Matt Stannard is actually going to contact the club. I might have another 2 guests actually lined up, possibly.
Right, well, let's say 150s are, it might be. So we've got 10, we're not that many, 10 tickets away from max capacity. So if you're sat at home and you've not got a ticket for the evening, March the 30th, Thursday night, 7 p.m, it's free, don't cost you a penny. For those that are like me, bloody tight. So get yourself down there, get supporting, get going. Have a great night. Even I'm coming and I ain't leaving the house. So, no excuses. Right, 3-word reviews, Rich. What you got?
Right. GG, thanks for everyone who's getting involved in this. I like doing this on a Sunday. GGC 109, Morsi and Massimo. Richard Faulkner's been greedy because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Momentum certainly
disqualified.
Pendulum has swung. Midfield in charge, good team effort. My favourite one is Yellow Shoes working. He was there again yesterday. I see him. HDR Martin. Hosepipe band now. Unbelievable. Peter Dowling, Accrington win Tuesday. Not a chance, Peter. I'm sorry. Stuart Cook, momentum. Someone from the Talking Cricket page has tweeted in. I wonder who runs that. 686 and counting. Did you know 686, Martin? That's the minutes since we've last conceded a goal. Dominic Dean, 1 Christian Walton, Ben Moore, Clone Harry Clark, Curtis Yates, Shrews got buried, Richard Chandler. I see him at half time. We had a little chat yesterday, and I told him George Hurst will not get 10 goals. 2 shirts, Chandler, thank you. Or Crystal Ball Chandler, as Matt calls him. Professional team performance. Reece Curtis, another dominant display. Blue and true since 82, another 3 points. Lewis Robertson, another step closer. Rob Pooley, keep this going. Mark Rattlestein to Purr. Dean Mitchell, sit down. Cottrell, Hannah, Burns, baby Burns. Ben, ITFC. Brilliant January recruitment. Shout out Mark Ashton. Get the mug out, Martin. Ipswich could be champions. Real Kettridge, sign on going out. Ian Ling, we go again. Uncle Peter, running towards promotion. Ashley Enten, we're going up. Jenny, Edge, What a Club. Lee, Fancy, Confidence Stick Passing. Paul, PDEP, Taming the Shrews. Blue Fly, don't fit anyone. Andrew Solomon, Magnificent, Massive, Massimo. Say that when you're pissed. Owen Griffiths, 2-week break. Andrew Peck, keep winning games. Andy Wilson on the march. Darren King feels like promotion. Stuart Spreedbridge on the march. Chris Dowsing on your shoulder. Lucian, momentum is everything. Gary L, 10 matches unbeaten. Matt Stannard, Burns, tears apart. Townley Logan, Hursty is thirsty. Crowth, the Shrews buried. Christine Smith, we win again. And Jen Bacon, snapping at heels.
Beautiful. I'll add one more. And it's kind of a question to you before we bring in the GOAT. Why change ends? What's all that about?
It's probably the opposition.
Is it, or is it now something that we've decided to do?
I don't know. You'd have to. Callie's not in the chat. He could ask Sam that. There's 4. I think there's 4 games running that we've kicked to the North Stand first half. So, is it Town? Is it the opposition? If it's the opposition, it's not going well, is it, lads?
No, I just thought yesterday, could it be a mentality thing, courtesy of our friend with the yellow boots? Because, Ipswich Town, traditionally, same old, nothing's, it's been the same old situation over the last 30, 50, 60, 20 years. For why are we doing the same old? Let's change it. Why do we kick towards that stand? It's your pitch. Yeah. Maybe you're kicking one end or the other. It shouldn't matter. Let's change the status quo. Let's challenge it and see if we can't change.
But then you'll have Liverpool kick into the Kop. You'd say they'd do that all the time when they play at home.
But we went through a bad period, and you could argue kicking towards the North Stand second half has never done us any good because we are sitting in England's third tier. We are not Man City. So,
yeah, possibly.
superstition in sport, is it, or is it a I would love to know, because I wonder if it's now a challenge the status quo, challenge the same old Ipswich, challenge.
You might not find out. They might not want to release that because of the opposition.
Oh, they're not going to. No, that's why we talk about in this podcast.
But
does it bother you?
Not really. It doesn't really bother me what way we kick in. There's a goal at each end of the pitch. There's 11 players on each team. I'm not really that bothered.
Do you think it changes the atmosphere?
Well, I think originally, like when they normally do it, and it's like a one-off, and you hear a bit of a groan as the Walton runs towards like the half round in like the opposition goalie. But I think now, when you've done it for the last 4 games, and we've been winning at half time, Martin, in every single one of them games, I'm thinking now, is it that big an issue? I don't think it is. It'd be interesting when we play Wickham on Good Friday. What happens then? I don't know.
Interesting, isn't it?
Say it's a playoff game, second leg at home, playoff game, and we're losing. Say we lose the first leg 1-0. What do you do then?
Would that be under the lights on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night?
I don't know when it'll be. I don't know when the dates are. I would have thought with the season ending on the 7th, isn't it? The first game would be probably, I don't know, because you've got a long break. Would it be Saturday? Because then you've got the playoff final. I think Sunday, is it Sunday the 28th of May? But then I remember when we beat Bolton, Martin. I remember when we beat Bolton. That was a Sunday, and then it was a Tuesday, I think, wasn't it? I'm sure that was a Tuesday night when we beat Bolton. But then you had about 2 or 3 weeks. You had 3 weeks until the final. A lot of time to, obviously, because Scowcroft was injured then, and it was, would he be fit for the final? And then he wasn't fit for the final. So I don't know, but let's just concentrate on Derby. You're getting too far ahead now.
I'm just wondering if it. Well, I think we'll be in the playoffs. As in, like, regardless of right now, at the very minimum, I think we'll be in the playoffs. So
I hope so. That's a massive drop off, isn't it?
I'm not getting too far ahead of myself by thinking it would. Would it be a Tuesday? Yes, actually, I think normally the highest team is at home second leg, and I'm always thinking it's
third and fourth are at home. I don't know. The first leg, I would have thought it would be on the weekend after. But it depends for TV. That's probably a lot of it, Martin. Sky will have a say.
Right. Let's bring on the man that interviewed Ray Crawford yesterday in the post-game show, Mr. Colin Plum. How are you, Colin? You well?
Congratulations and celebration. If anyone ain't seen that, that is up there. Matt Phillips reckons that's up there with my 100 points, 100 goals. I actually think it's better. And I want Martin to clip it up, and I want to get it on the social.
And I will do. I will do when I get a little bit of time to do so. But Colin, how are you, sir? You well?
Yeah, I'm brilliant, mate. Yeah, fine. Yeah, fantastic day yesterday. Good afternoon, Rich, by the way. Good afternoon, Gov. First of all, Gov, I'd just like to say a few thank yous for yesterday.
Yep, go for it. Fire away. The floor is yours.
Thank you to Marcus Nash. Thank you to all the stewards that helped me yesterday. Thank you to Mike O'Leary, Mark Ashton. Thank you to Jacob Henderson. Thank you to everybody who listened to me, who responded to me this morning. A lot of thank yous going out today. Thank you to Arnold. Thank you to France. Thank you to Mickey Stockwell. Thank you to Ray. You know, just thank you to everybody. That was and also thank you to Ross for listening yesterday. I'll tell you what. Yesterday was just one of those days, Covers, is surreal. But more importantly, thank you to Jason. You know, yesterday when I went down by the tunnel there and they let me on, more or less onto the pitch, which I thought was lovely after he'd done his interview.
We stood there, right, Colin? We stood there and we could see you down there. And then Ollie says, he's going on the pitch. He's on the pitch. You can see you in your cloak down there. And I thought, brilliant. I'll tell you what, Martin, I will not be ashamed to say that I had a tear in my eye when I see Colin down there presenting the book, because I know how much it meant to you, Colin, to speak to Jason, give him the book. You know, I'd message him on the Friday to say, and he said, yeah, brilliant. He was looking forward to it. So I will not be ashamed to say that I had a bit of a tear.
The thing for me, Rich, was was
I'll
actually.
tell you what, on the launch night, it's going to be so easy to make you cry. Unbelievable. Bring your Kleenex.
The thing for me yesterday, Rich, was actually looking him in the eye. And
hang on. He's about 2 foot taller than you. He's fucking massive.
He is.
He's huge, isn't he?
Yeah, and Rich and Gov just shaking his hand.
Yeah.
That was surreal for me. And I had a little word with him. I'll give him a little bit of a hug. And I just said, you know, you're just such an inspiration to me and everybody, you know. And I kind of left it at that, really. And it just meant it was a day that, you know, we'll go up there with all the memories of, you know, winning the trophies and the celebrations at the Cornhill and everything, like the Bolton game that night and Barnsley, and it's right up there with everything, Gov.
I'll tell you what I want. Next time,
fantastic.
Over, Colin, next time Jason's over, because he'll come over again because he loves coming and watching town, I'm going to message him. I want Jason to come and visit the shed.
100%.
I want him to come and visit the shed. He would be blown away with that.
He'll have to watch his head.
Well, yeah.
When he goes in.
Yeah, he wouldn't get in there, would he?
He's so tall. You know, I was shocked by how tall he was. But also, I had a quick word with Jacob Henderson yesterday, and I might, obviously, it's not well, it's more or less. So I might be doing a little chat with Jacob. Let's just leave it at that for now. So I might be just doing a little bit. I might be doing a little bit with him, Gov.
Jacob takes the goat for a walk.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, so I might be doing it on the day of the Wickham game, hopefully. So yeah,
good. And your thoughts on yesterday's game?
I just underline everything Mike said. Really, I think it'd be harsh to give anybody under an 8. I personally, I know Gov hates it, and I know Rich hates it even more. I'd probably give two 9s tomorrow. No, look, Hurst and Burns were very, very good yesterday, and do you know what? For the absolute effort, and this is really saying something, because Hurst was very good yesterday, for his absolute effort, being hit into that wall, God only knows how many times. You just got, not because I like a little chat. Mel was texting me during the game, yesterday. She put Hurst / Burns, boom. We like that one. Yeah, I mean, but Burns gets man of the match for me yesterday. But yeah, but the thing with Ray at the end, I mean, I had a lovely chat with him for about a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes in the shop. I saw him in the morning, and he was just so easy to talk to, and such a gentleman. His wife, what a lovely lady. And when we done the little piece, Gav, after the game, and somebody sees come and walk across, I couldn't believe it, Rich. I really couldn't. And it was just so. And I'm sure, you know, when hopefully we get him on the show, you'll find the same, Rich and Gav. Just such an easy.
Just a quick
easy person. Wait a minute, Rich. Just so easy to talk to.
I think we spoke about this morning, not for you and for mine, everyone in the chat. What would Ray Crawford be worth today? 27 goals for Town?
227, Rich, yeah.
What would he be worth?
A lot of money is the answer. A lot of money.
Like I said to you the other day, Rich, he wouldn't in today's money. He would not be transferred for less than 100 million.
Who would you liken him to, Colin, in today's, if like people are like watching and people listening back, who would you liken him to, like say playing in the Premier League? What was it about Ray Crawford that made him so great? Not that he scored a load of goals, obviously.
He scored a lot of goals. He was a bit of a sniper in the box. He was very, very. He's a bit like Hursty in the air. He scored a lot of, like, you know, the old flick headers. Great link-up player. You know, with the midfield and what have you. Who would I say? His actual game was quite a bit like. Yeah, quite a bit like, really like somebody like Harry Kane, really.
I thought you were going to say his link-up player. I thought you might say him.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it'd be as worth and maybe as much as Harry, because obviously Harry's played a hell of a lot of games for England. But Ray did play for England, but only a couple of times. But as regards like the era he played in, the only reason I said to Gov yesterday, the only reason he didn't play for England more was because of a lad who played up front actually for Tottenham with Jimmy Greaves, Bobby Smith. He's a big lump up front for Spurs. Played, you know, Jimmy played off him, and Bobby Smith was a very, very good footballer. And hence why Ray didn't play more times for England. But Ray was really up there, I'll tell you. I mean, you know, you're talking about an era in the first division at the time, Rich and Gov. You're talking about an era of up top, people like Jimmy Greaves, Bobby Smith, like I said, people like Dennis Law, Roger Hunt. You know, I don't have no paperwork. You know, people obviously like Bobby Charlton. I mean, you know, he had so many good players about at the time. You know, when Ray, but you know, he proved that to everybody how good he was, because he finished up with and this one is just for the Norwich City fans who might just be tuning in. He finished up with a First Division title winners medal.
Anyway,
I'm not sure Norwich fans would.
Give your evening a quick plug.
Our evening is on the 30th of March. Thanks to Matt and Rich and Gav and Matt Phillips and everybody else who helped me all the time. I love you.
Matt Phillips,
on the 30th.
What are you thanking him for?
You're brilliant, all of you. 30th of March, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. In the Sir Bobby Robson suite. Another two young ladies, but on the train yesterday, I got them coming.
Hang on, it's not them two that you were telling me about the other week.
No.
I'm still looking at social media. Where is that picture of Colin and two dollies on his birthday?
No, they're not the same two. They're coming on the train, so they can have a little drink from Bait. And I think
is there? Train strike.
What's that?
There's a train strike that night, isn't there?
Oh. I think it might be, actually. Oh, I'll have to go in the taxi.
Sorry to piss on your parade, but I think there's I think
so you think we might have another couple of guests then, Rich?
Yeah.
Oh,
take this off there. Colin, in one sentence, why should people get tickets? That's the real question. Why should they get tickets and attend the book launch?
They should get tickets and attend the book launch because we want as many people there to support the charities, the Heart Foundation and Cancer Research, and we also want everybody there to support all the Talking Town team. They'll all be there.
I've got Sharpie if you want your book signed.
Yeah, so no, we want people to come. Obviously, the tickets are free, but donations on the night, and we're trying to raise as much money as we can for the Heart Foundation and Cancer Research.
Perfect. Colin, we're going to end the show just in a second. So thank you for coming on, my man. Thank you for giving that a plug. Thank you for giving us your insight as always. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
Thank you, mate. You take care.
Good man, all the best. And this is what you can get from Amazon. It's a great read. I'm flying through it, and I don't read much.
It's gone back up now in price.
Yeah. So how much is it now?
About $9.60, I think.
Yeah. Go to Amazon. Diary of an Obsession. Check it out. Get active. Get buying it. Get reading it. Join us on the 30th of March. Anything you want to pass on before we leave? Any final information?
My man of the match yesterday was Wes Burns. I agree with Colin. I agree with Matt in the chat. I agree with Fisherman. Yeah, I thought he was back to his best yesterday, Martin. He's had a few issues. Wes has. I spoke to David. I'm not going to go into it, but I don't think everybody realises sometimes what we just see him on a Saturday and a Tuesday, and we want them to be perfect. But there's stuff that goes on off the pitch, and hopefully between now and the end of the season, we can see more performances like we did yesterday with a few goals. 10 assists now he's got, Martin, and people are saying, I think 10 assists, 6 goals, and people are saying he's been off form and he's having a poor season. So there you go. Burns will tear you apart again.
He will. And just a reminder that you've got 1 day, 2 hours, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left for your compensation window. It is year 3. You've got to select which compensation you want. You should have had an email about it. Yeah. Well, if you don't do anything, though, they just take the money, I think, or keep the money. So
let them have it. I think I'll let them have mine.
Oh, yeah, because they've got enough fucking money, have they?
Yeah, every little helps.
No. We've got a big pension pot backing us now, son. No. You can donate your team card points to the club, receive team card points for use around the club, or use your team card points to reduce the price of your 2023-24
season ticket. Can you get the cash back? Can you get the cash back?
No? Please no. No, I don't think you can.
Well, I was going to say, if you get the cash back, you could donate to that man because he wants a laptop.
You certainly could, but I don't think you can. But I will. I'd rather you bought something from the club shop or has your ticket off than let the club keep it. Fucking bollocks to that. They got enough money. I've got Nathan Broadhead 1.5 million. I don't need more of my money. I don't need more of it, Rich.
Well, for next season when we're shopping in a different market.
Correct. But you've only got, I'll reiterate, 1 day, 2 hours, 3 minutes, and now 15 seconds left. So get your email, find it and sort it out. Although when I click it keeps telling me error. This event is no longer for sale. So,
not to worry.
No, it's not my money.
Bad weekend, then it's not working. You had to pay for your bloody burger, and if you'd have known, you'd have got 50% off. Unbelievable!
Disgraceful. I know, but anyway, we're done with Dusty. That man there's the cruncher. He says Shrewsbury 6th on the spin in 2023. I'm the Gov. We're back.
When are we back?
Next Sunday, I think.
Yeah, no show Friday. Obviously, we're putting our feet up, so I will not be drinking on Friday.
No show tomorrow, I don't think. No show Wednesday because there's no match day to preview. No show Friday.
Put our feet up like the players. Can we go to Dubai?
Absolutely. Yes.
Warm weather training.
Warm weather training. Like the sound of that. Right. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. Up with that.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.